Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? I am super excited to have someone here with me on tonight as we delve into this topic. Before I introduce him, let me talk about why I am on again tonight. So a week ago, I posted something, and it was in reference to men having friends because I was puzzled even because I had read an article that said a lot of men, 8 out of 10 men don't have friends. And I was like, that cannot be right. And I saw something else come up online in reference to men not having friends, and it just bothered me. And I thought about how blessed I am to have friends, and it just did something to me. And so on tonight, well, I posed a question last week. How important is it for men to have friends, or is it important for men to have male friends? And my answer is yes. And I believe if you ask any man, the answer probably is yes, for a number of different reasons, which we're going to talk about on tonight. So we're going to pick up on this conversation, and do me a favor, if you will, ask any question you want. We want to answer the questions. We want to hear from you. I'll see if I can bring someone up. I don't know if I can because Facebook is acting real funky with me, but we'll do that if we can. So I was praying about this on tonight, this podcast rather. And I was like, man, I really would like to bring someone on with me. I don't want to have this discussion by myself. And the Lord laid this man in my heart to bring him on here. I got to start it by saying this. I've known this man for well over 30 years. Yeah. We've gone to college together. He is a good friend. And I'm going to tell a funny story. So Marquis and I have known each other probably since 1989. Yeah. At least 1989. That's how far back we go, right? The 1900s. We're old dudes. We're old fellas over here, and we're still friends. Great friends, as a matter of fact. Yeah. Marquis and I met again in college, and when Marquis got married, I was in his wedding. Marquis has been with me probably since day one, whatever the case is. And there have been a couple important things that Marquis has been around for in my life. There's the first one that's probably the most important is getting saved. Mm-hmm. I remember we had caught up with one another after college, and I hadn't seen Marquis in a while. And I ran into him on Allentown Road. I never forget this, Marquis. I ran into you on Allentown Road. You had a new car. It was a two-door. You remember what kind of car it was?
My Scoop. My Hyundai Scoop.
Okay.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. Okay. And so on the back of Marquis' car, he had this bumper sticker. It said, Jesus saves. Yeah. Now, keep in mind, we had gone to college together, and I'm not the Mike Johnson that you see and know today. I was a little wild. I think we might have been both a little while. We ain't going to talk about it.
We were just transitioning.
Well, you had transitioned.
Right.
You had transitioned.
Right.
Marquis had transitioned. Marquis was saved. He had given his life to the Lord. Everything was walking with God. Me, I had not done that. When I met him, I was far and away from going to somebody's church. And I asked him a dumb question. I saw the bumper sticker on his car, and I said, hey, man, did you buy your car used? And he's like, why you asking me? I said, because you got the Jesus Save bumper sticker on your car. I know you ain't saved, right? And which was crazy to ask somebody, right? But I did, and he said, no, man, I'm saved. And we talked about it, and I was like, man, what do you mean you say? Like, how did you change? Like, what made you change? Like, what is going on with you, man? Like, what's the deal? And so he just told me, he's like, man, you should come to church with me. And I was like, man, Marquis, I don't do church. I don't believe in pastors. I just don't trust them. I think this about them, that, and that. He said, Mike, you should come. This was early in the day. I never forget it, Marquis. This was early in the day. And I remember that night trying to go to sleep. And for whatever reason, I couldn't go to sleep. The thing about going to church, being saved, the Lord, I had never felt this before in my entire life. I never felt the presence of God in my life before. But I did for the first time that day, from that day to this day. And I called Marquis. It was late, man. It was probably like around 12 at night. And I was like, man, Marquis, something is going on. I don't know what's going on, but it's bothering me bad. I can't shake this thing that you were telling me about earlier today, this Jesus stuff, man. I don't know what it is, but I think I need to go to church. And so I went to church with Marquis. He said, all right, man, we're going to go on Sunday. I went to church with him. I had a great time, Ebenezer AME Church on Allentown Road. Shout out to Pastor Granger and Joanne Browning, our pastors. Yeah. man, and this when before the church was on at the new site.
Right.
We were at the old site. We were at the original sanctuary.
Right.
And the church was actually we weren't even there. We was at Friendly.
Yep.
We was at Friendly because the church was being built.
You're right.
And this was 1992.
Memories.
This was exactly right. This was 1992, and I remember this very vividly because shout out, what's up, Shimon? What's up, Brian? Good to have you on. What's up, Kiki? What's up, babe? And so I went to church at Marquee, and then I was like, oh man, okay, something happened here today. And so he was like, you should come back the next week. I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna come back the next week. So I wound up going to church with him the next week. And then the third week, I remember he didn't have to call me. I called him. I said, hey, man, I think I want to go. And I wound up getting saved, so forth and so on. Wound up being at Ebenezer for 13 years and then going into ministry after that. I've been in ministry now for almost 19 years, almost 20 years, rather at this point, all because of this guy. And because of him, I have 3 children, right? And a wife. I met my wife at Marquis' party in 1989 or 1990. This was when they still had house parties.
Right.
And Marquis had a party at his house. Shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Walker for letting us cut up in their house.
Yeah, police and all.
Yeah, exactly, right, police and all. We had a great time. And, man, we had a great time. But I met my wife there, and I've been with her from that day to this day. And this dude has been my friend from that day to this day. And I just want to say welcome, man. It is good to have you here. I love you, man. I'm going to tell you that up front.
Love you too.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for being my friend, man. Thank you for not thinking I was crazy when I asked you about the Jesus Ain't Bumper Stick.
Oh, nah. But that was the whole point. I mean, they want people to ask questions.
That's right.
They want people to know.
Yeah.
So it was a great advertisement piece for happening.
Oh, but that was crazy, though. Somebody to ask that.
Right.
So here it is tonight, Marquis. We're going to talk about this thing, man, about friendship. And we're going to talk about how important it is for men to have friends. Yeah. And we're going to talk about what happens to a man when he doesn't have a friend. And I still say this is very shocking to me that 8 out of 10 men don't believe or don't have a friend. Yeah. At least 1, 2, or whatever the case is. And I've been blessed over my lifetime to have many of friends. And I want to start with this first, and I want to ask you, what is your definition of friendship? Especially when we talk about men, not women, because on tonight we're talking about men and dealing with men. Right. Do me a favor, guys. Share this with other people. Have them come on with us, especially all the men you know in your life. I believe this is going to be a blessing tonight. This talk that we have on tonight, this thing that we do, I believe it's going to be a blessing. So invite some other men to come on and be a part of this as well.
Yeah. First of all, thank you for having me.
Yes.
And, yes, we've been friends for a really long time. Mm-hmm. I'm really proud of you, all the things you've done.
You as well.
From the day you come into church.
I thought the church was going to fall apart.
No, but just seeing your strides and all the things you've done, just been really inspirational, and just seeing your growth throughout the years, and from meeting Stephanie and the family, and just growing and growing. It's just been amazing. So I'm proud of everything you've accomplished and all the stuff that you're still going to accomplish.
Yeah.
And I think as far as friendship and a definition, for me, men in my life are important for several different reasons. One is the fact that I need to be able to bounce some of the crazy stuff that's in my head off of somebody that's going to understand what I'm talking about. And with that, I can't just talk about the things that I'm dealing with anybody.
Yep.
So there's a trust factor in there. There's a level of maturity in there as well. Because you can have people around you who you feel like are your friends. However, if they don't have a level of maturity to be able to handle the situations or the circumstances that you're having to deal with, you're trying to understand your own feelings, emotions, why I feel like this way. Sometimes your life experiences, your parents, whatever you've gone through kind of shape where you're going.
Yep.
And sometimes you just need somebody that has a outside perspective, that has some sense to be able to give you a perspective so you move forward in a better way. So I think friends are very important in that way, as well as just being able to let your guard down.
We're talking about male friends now.
Male friends.
Yeah.
Because you can't let your guard down with everybody.
Nope.
You got to be very cautious because you tell people about your dreams, your hopes, things you want to do, the girl you're interested in.
Yeah.
Another guy that's not trustworthy, they're going to go after your girl. They're going to go after the dream you wanted. They're going to try and stop you from doing things that you want to do. So you got to be very careful about who you share your dreams and the things that you really have to deal with in your heart, because there's some pretty scary people out there.
It is. I want to throw this at you guys real quick to start it off. I'm going to throw 2 scriptures out there. One, Psalm 133, 1 says, how good and pleasant it is when God's people live together. Another version says when men fellowship together. And then Proverbs 18 through 24 says, a man that hath friends must show himself friendly. And there is a friend that is closer than a brother. And that's how I feel about you. And that's why I wanted to have this conversation, because I think oftentimes, to your point, we don't have people, especially men in our lives, that we can do that with, that we can fellowship with, that we can pour our hearts out to, that we can trust with our emotions, trust with our deepest and darkest secrets. Right? Mm-hmm. There are a lot of men, man, who go down because they don't have somebody they can bounce crazy stuff off. Like, I'm thinking about doing this. Right. And you thinking about doing what? You like, yeah, man, I'm this close to doing it. And I'm on my way. Right? And if you don't have a good friend that can tell you, man, stop the car for a minute. Let me holler at you. Let me talk to you about it. And they won't criticize you about what you're doing. They will empathize with you and talk to you and talk you off a ledge. Right. And then when you're making a good decision, of course, encourage you and so forth and so on. Like, let me just say this to you, man, how proud I am of you, because, man, we've been through some stuff. Like, we've seen each other at our lowest, and we've seen each other, come up to where we are right now. And I mean, I ain't gonna get no details about your life, but you have come a long way as well. And I'm super proud of you, man, because you've had to overcome some pretty tough obstacles, and you were able to do it. And I believe it's because, you have people in life that encourage you. I mean, I know we were there to encourage you, because it's tough sometimes being a man. And all that it is that we do and all that we expect it to be, it is extremely difficult sometimes to be a man, because the weight that's placed on your shoulders is a lot of times heavier than you can bear. Which is the reason why you need a friend or friends or a circle of friends who can come in and, be your friend and help you and usher you through a whole bunch of things and stuff like that. I want to talk about, again, this thing about friendship, man, as we delve into it, because you made some great points. And one of the points I want to talk about is everybody can't be your friend. Everybody isn't worthy of being your friend. And you got to know the difference and who is and who is not your friend. And I believe this, Marquis, that friendship and friends are time tested. Right? They're situational. They're situations that you go through over time where the person is your friend. Like when my kids were younger, they used to always call everybody a friend. And I would tell them, everybody is not your friend. Stop saying that everybody's your friend. Stop calling them your friend. That person, you've known them 2 months. You haven't known them long enough for you to put the stamp on them that says they're a friend. Now, that was just me because of how we grew up. Is because we've been through things. I remember, just the shortcut this a little bit, me and you, we were playing basketball because we still love to play basketball when we was younger. We would play outdoors, indoors, anywhere. We at the rec, you name it, we would be there and playing. And we was both fierce basketball players. I had a bad temper. Marquis didn't. Marquis didn't have a bad temper. I did. I had a bad temper.
But they called me Charles Barkley.
But they called you Charles Barkley. But you didn't have a bad temper, though. You didn't have no bad temper. But I remember this one time, I forgot the dude's name. You gonna remember when I tell you.
Oh, yeah, I already know. We
were playing, and I was killing this dude on his court. It was Marquise in the court, and I came over Marquise spot, and we were playing. And y'all know this for dudes who play basketball. When you go to somebody else's court and you beat them bad, and you talk trash, you know that could cause a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, man, I was crushing this dude, man. I was talking all kinds of trash, and the dude wound up becoming a policeman.
Yeah.
And man, I was about to knock this dude out. He said something to Marquis one time. I was like, "Oh no, we done with basketball. Now we just get ready to fight." And so Marquis was like, "Nah, Mike, it's sorry." I was like, "Man, no, F that dude." Back then, man, I had vocabulary that was out of this world. I had vocabulary that was out of this world. But yeah, man, that's the kinds of things like you don't stand by and watch a friend go through something,
right?
And you don't do anything. You do something.
Yep.
You may not be able to solve the problem, but you sure can help them get through whatever it is they're going through. But I don't think that you could call somebody a friend after a month or two. Maybe you can. I don't know. I wasn't built like that. I wasn't raised like that from Southeast DC. And it's always been a time-tested thing. But I say that because there have been times, like you said, where people you may have called your friend, they weren't your friend, and you found out in the worst way possible.
Right.
You know, you and that person you think are on the same page. You think they're rooting for you, and quietly they stabbing you.
Correct.
And they twisting the knife all in your back. Mm-hmm. Now, I want to talk about this thing real quick, trust, because one of the things about men that's key to any relationship with men, especially men, and these, you know, how we do things, is trust. Mm-hmm. When trust is broken, it is extremely difficult and sometimes impossible to repair the relationship. In fact, it's irreparable, right? It cannot be repaired. And I know for me, man, I'm kind of that way. I don't know if you do count this way, Marquis. I'll forgive you, but that's the end of it. Yeah. I can't. And I've had here recently, I had a dude, man, who I thought was my friend for years, and he did something, man. And I was like, how could you do that to me? And I've known you all these years. Mm-hmm. Like you would have, and here's the part that kills me is that when you have a friend, especially as a man friend, because we as men, we all know this. If you're lucky to have 5 or 6 or 2 or 3 male friends, you are blessed.
Absolutely.
You're 100% blessed. And in the comments, I don't know where you at on this, but you are extremely blessed. I'm not talking about somebody you just go out to dinner with. I'm talking about some ride or die dudes. That's what I'm talking about. Right. Yeah. You're lucky. You're blessed to have that in your life. Mm-hmm. But I thought the dude was that kind of dude. I found out that he wasn't. And, you know, one of the things that men don't talk about is how your feelings get hurt.
Yeah.
Because women think that they're the only... You aren't supposed to express that. Yeah. You aren't supposed to. And women don't often understand that men's feelings get hurt. And when men's feelings get hurt, it's a big damn deal. Because one, you exposed yourself to somebody. Right. You made yourself vulnerable.
Let the wall down.
You let the wall down. And men, as men, that's not something we typically do. So if you let the wall down with somebody, that means something.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Let the wall down with the dude, man. Being my friend for years, man. He did something to me. And I was just like, man, I can't be your friend anymore because you violated a trust that we had that I don't know that we can ever get back.
Yeah, and that's another level of maturity also because to your earlier point, you were a different person back then. If the same situation would have happened.
Yeah.
So that shows growth right there.
Yeah.
In that we're back to the maturity level of who you're dealing with. Mm-hmm. Not everybody could handle you. Yep. Handle the situations you are dealing with, and not everybody understands. So if they're not mature, don't know how to handle a real relationship, you may extend yourself, let your walls down, but they may not let theirs down. And I've had people in my life in the past who I've called friend, who I felt like I let the walls down. And I realized after really going back over our relationship that I was the one always sharing.
Ooh.
I was always the one saying, I'm dealing with this, and Dad, what should I do? And as I was thinking back, I could never think of a moment where they were like, I was dealing with this or I'm dealing with that. And what do you think I should do with that? So they were taking advantage of my walls being down.
You were vulnerable and they weren't.
They weren't.
Right.
And so just seeing that both walls are coming down is another level of maturity and growth and friends that have to develop. But I think just like with marriage or any other type of relationship you deal with, you have to really monitor and know the person that you're in a relationship with.
Yeah.
Because you can feel all kind of lovey-dovey.
Yeah.
You know, we're the bestest of friends, but you never hear them do the same thing for you. You have to notice that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to be able to feel the fact that they're not really into it as much as you are. And then be able to adjust yourself.
Wow.
Because you may have to bring up some of those walls that you took down and say, well, wait a minute, let me reassess this.
Right. Because are you really my friend? Is it transactional at that point? You're trying to get something from me, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Benefits.
It's interesting you say that because a lot of the articles that I read, and I knew this, but it just validated what I thought. It talked about how, especially with men, and again, guys, we would love to hear from you. You know, put your comments up in there. We're going to definitely address them. Shout out to Andre, to Jermaine, and all the other folks on too. The thing is scrolling, so I can't see everybody. So I apologize, but shout out to everybody that's on. But one of the things that talked about our key was the way that men become friends is through vulnerability, right? So it means that you have to tell me something. I mean, tell me something, not no surface stuff, right? And I got to share with you something in exchange. And now we're on the same playing field. And I know that when I give you that information, that I can trust you with it.
Right.
That it won't, thank you. That it isn't going anywhere. That it's going to be with you. And I can trust you with it, that when something comes up, even if we get into an argument, we don't speak for a while, that never comes up again. Right? And it's that level of vulnerability that most men never get to.
Right.
Because they haven't found someone who could be who's worthy of that information.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think based on, you know, how we were talking a little bit earlier, we don't see it in anybody else. We don't see it in our parents, our uncles, our friends. Most of them don't have serious, mature relationships, so we don't know what that looks like. We don't know how to trust somebody else because we've never seen it until it actually, most of the time it happens by happenstance, not organically. So, you know, your next door neighbor or the person who lived down the street ends up being your friend because they're around all the time. Y'all like to do the same thing, so you become friends, even though they may not be the best person in the world. Right. That's just the person that's around. So, okay, we friends because we hang out all the time. We do things together all the time, but they may not be the best person in the world. They might not do the best things. And then over time you realize, ooh, should I really be friends with this person? Whoa, how much am I taking on of this person's personality and attributes and things that they believe in that's not me? And at some point, you got to mature and say, I'm not going to be this person anymore. I'm going to be somebody else. And you make that decision. Either you go the wrong way or you go the right way. And both ways could lead you places, and not always positive. It's not always positive. And I think at every point in life, you got to assess who's around you, who's still good for you, who's not. You got to know who to let out of your life before they cause damage.
You know, that's scary that you say that, Marquis. I was, and you're 100% correct. There are certain points in your life where you have to assess and take account and say, I don't know if they're good for me anymore. And sometimes it's painful because you look and you say, where we were on the same level, or we were, you know, kind of into some of the same things. Man, I've watched your life progress, and we're doing this. And for some reason, you don't want me to go my way, but you want me to go your way. But that's not the way I should be going. Right? I can't do what you want to do any longer. We can't be friends any longer because your life is completely different, bro. Like, it doesn't line up with anything that I'm doing, and it's not going to be beneficial to me, and it's not going to be fruitful. In fact, it might take me down a road I really don't want to go down. And I feel like, you know, I'm at that place. I feel like I've been at that place now for about the last 3 or 4 years, where I've had to look to see, you know, if people were transactional. Right. And the good thing for me is, and this is why I love, for a second, I'm going to say this about Jesus, and I hope nobody gets turned off about it, but this is why I love the relationship I have with the Lord, because I don't understand. This is me now being saved, and it's not trying to hold anything against anyone else, but it's helped me in my life because I have a level of discernment that is out of this world. Because the Lord has just shown me you've ran your course with them, or they can't go with you for the next phase of your life. Right? For where you're getting ready to go, you got to do some pruning and some trimming, although you may not want to. And sometimes it's not meaning that you got to cut them all the way out of your life. You just may not be friends with them like you were. Sometimes it means, you got to cut them off because God said they're no good for you. Whether it's to your family, whether it's to your business, to whatever it might be, it's a threat to where God really wants you to go. And so you got to cut off all threats. Right? And I hate that that's the case, but sometimes that's just what it is. You're absolutely right, man. Sometimes you got to reassess the situation. And when you see it, just because, you've been friends for a long time, you cannot ignore the fact that you got to possibly terminate the relationship or maybe cut it back, because what we had before is not what we have now. So the level of things I could trust you with before, it's a little bit more weighty now. And I can't trust you with these things because it's too much now.
Absolutely.
So there's a, and this is where, as men, we got to figure out where our circle is. We got to figure out who's, especially right now, and I want to talk about this for just a second, and I'm going to hop around for a little bit, I'm going to come right back. But especially as a 55-year-old man.
Right.
Like, we have more years behind us than we do in front of us.
Correct.
So every relationship I have now, I'm very, very intentional about.
Yeah, I'm risk adverse.
I'm very risk adverse, right? That's definitely the case. But in saying that, I understand that, man. I don't know how many more years we got in front of us. I'm not being morbid here. I'm just saying, because we're old. Right. We're older. Yeah,
we're still fine.
We're there. Yeah, we are. I'm just saying. But I realize now, because I look, man, sometimes I look in the mirror, Marquis, and I was like, I remember when I was 19. I remember when I was 20. We're 55 now. Yeah. We're going to be 60 in 4 years. Yeah. Right? And so I was like, man, 60? I can't even imagine my 20-year-old self sitting down talking, because that has been that long. Talking like, man, we almost 60. Right, so we got a little less hair, we got a lot of gray hair now, and all this kind of stuff. We don't look like we used to look, not far from it, but but I say that because you got to figure out, man, at 55, what relationships are important to you. Right. And I know, man, I take every last one of my relationships very seriously at this point in my life. Yeah. Right, because of all the stuff I got going on, yes, but because of my age, and me and you talked about this earlier. And all of you gentlemen on here right now, I'm sure you can attest to this. At this stage in age, if you're in your 50s, I'll even say in your late 40s, that some of your friends are gone. Yeah. They died, right? We've had to bury some good friends. We've lost some people. And so, man, now the friends that you have, you absolutely love, man. You adore, you hold on to, you cling on to with dear life, because you realize the thing I got with them, I'm probably never going to have somewhere else. Right? Yeah. And they have been with me through the trenches. They've seen me at my best. Yep. They've seen me at my worst. And not only have they seen my best and my worst, they stuck with me through all of that. Yep. And so it's important, man, when you do find that one, when you find those ride or dies, man, that you let them know how important they are. That's why when I said to you earlier in the text message, and I'll say this to you publicly right here, right now, that I love you, man, and you are important to me. And this is the thing about friends that I know to be the truth is you don't always have to talk to your friends every day, but they're in your spirit every day. Yep. And when they need you, you go, right? Like if you call me and say, Mike, it doesn't matter what's going on. If I can't get to you, I'm going to figure out what we need to do. Right. We going to get on the phone and figure out, all right, doesn't matter what part of the country I'm in, if I'm out of the country, whatever it is, whatever. If you say, Mike, I need your help, if you say you need my help, I know something's going on. Yeah. So that means I need to stop what I'm doing to figure out, okay, not just you, because I'm going to put it right here. If Robin calls me, his wife, and says, Mike, we got a situation. Well, what kind of you calling me? Okay, what kind of situation are we talking about? Right.
Yeah, and we've had some situations.
Right? And so that's the level of friendship we have. And this is important right here because, again, a lot of men, I think, sometimes don't realize they could get to this level where you could be emotional, where you could cry with your friend. Right. Like, how could you call somebody a friend of yours and you can't bear your soul? Right? You can't cry with them and they can't cry with you. Even as a man, crying doesn't make you less of a man.
Right.
It just means your tear ducts work and you're human.
Absolutely. And we all have emotions.
Absolutely.
And if you don't express them, that's another level of there's something missing here.
Something wrong with you.
Because there has to be some vulnerability.
Yeah.
At some level. Because that says that you trust me as much as I trust you.
Absolutely.
But if you don't reciprocate that, it becomes a transactional situation.
Yep.
And I think that's where some of these relationships that you talked about that need to end, or you realize need to change, they start with recognizing that openness, that honestness, the just the emotional part of it is gone. And no, you don't have to be together all the time, but as much as you travel and do all the different things that you do to promote your business and all of that, we don't get an opportunity to sit down together all the time. But I'm constantly praying for you.
Yep.
I'm constantly supporting your business,
Yep.
putting out information, sending people
Texting
your way. Yeah, texting, because I know what it's like out in these streets.
Yeah.
And just to make sure I'm holding you up, I'm trying to make sure you good. You need anything.
Yep.
How is Steph?
Yep.
How are the kids?
Yeah.
I know you got to be out there, and if she's not with you, I'm going to help support and hold house down until you get back.
Yeah.
I know she travels with you quite a bit.
Yes, sir.
But the goal is, and the thing for me is, I'm going to treat you and your family like y'all my family because you are.
That's right.
So I love you just as much as you love me. And so I know that you would stand up for me, that you would fill in for me.
Yep.
But that's over time. You grow that.
Yep.
And you don't get that from everybody. I've tested that theory. Okay? Tested that theory.
Yeah.
So, you give people small things that you think they can handle, and when it goes left and they don't hold your secrets or they don't hold your vulnerable moment and they try to use it against you, or I'm going to share a story, a quick one. But I've actually shared with somebody that I had riding with me every day that I was trying to help. He didn't have a job. I had my own business at the time. I got this guy riding around with me. I'm trying to share with him how I do what I do, how I interact with people. And, when you come across people who are a little more friendlier than others, women specifically, he knows I'm married, we in the car, he sees a lot of interactions, communications with me and the customer, rather than trying to get more information about what's going on and all of that, he's plotting and planning behind the scenes, trying to share with my wife this relationship that he thinks is going on, to the point where he messing up my stuff at home. I'm sharing with him how to do business, how I am able to work with people. I got keys to people's houses. That's how much they trust me. And I've known people for years that I've developed relationships with, and he was getting the whole thing misconstrued and wanted to go try and get me in trouble. So right there, that told me this dude, one, is not somebody I could trust. I have to keep him away from anything that I love because he's going to use any opportunity that he can to take what I have, pull down what I have. He's obviously jealous, has some type of other motivation going on rather than being friends with me.
Wow.
So you got to watch people. And the slightest small things could turn into big ordeals.
That's when I sit back in that old Mike Johnson.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That would trigger me so bad. That would trigger me so bad. But to your point, you're right, man. And you know what? For a second, let's just stay here. This is one of the reasons why men cannot have friends sometimes.
Right.
Because, and this is where I think a lot of guys put up their guards. Right here, what you just said, because we know, or at least in the back of our mind sometimes, a dude might be scheming on your wife, your girl, your job, your whatever it is that you got going on. In the background, they're jealous or envious of you. Right? And this is crazy, man, to me, because my father, man, shout out to Mike Johnson Sr., taught me this years ago. Don't you ever be envious or jealous of another man when God has given you the ability and all these other things to get to where you need to go, or where you eventually want to be, or who you eventually want to become.
Right.
And I don't understand this, Marquis. This is me speaking, right? I don't understand how men can be insecure about another man.
Easy.
So listen to me. I don't understand it. Like, how as men, we have a special word for people like that. It starts with a B and ends with an itches. And I just don't understand, man. I never understood that, Marquis, how another man could be jealous of you and you doing what you do. And because I'm the type of dude, man, I'm the type of friend, and I'm talking about people who call themselves friends of y'all. I would love to hear from y'all in the comments about this, where you have somebody who calls themselves your friend, but you find out that they never was your friend. They were secretly your enemy, and they were envious and jealous of you, and they were absolutely insecure about, or within themselves, about what you were doing. And you're saying to yourself, man, I'm just doing my thing. I'm just running along, doing how God, has allowed me to do it. And you out here tearing my name down. You out here talking about me behind my back when I've been helping you. I done gave you a job. I done put money in your pocket. I done did this for you. I helped you do this. I helped you do that. And Negro, I almost said something else. Negro, you out here trying to kill me?
Right.
Man, I don't understand. I promise you, man, for me, I have very little tolerance for dudes like that.
Yeah. Now I don't have tolerance for it. Back then, I think because I was trying to come into my own also. And because you only have so many friends, you deal with certain things. Like the same guy that you were just talking about.
Oh, I already know. I know. I wanted to kill him several times. But go ahead.
But let me
not kill him, but definitely do him some body harm.
Tell you, same dude. But we were coming up, and you have friends, girlfriends.
I told you about the dude before, but go ahead.
Yeah, back and forth, all of that. This same dude, after I was finished with girls, he would go back behind and be with those same girls.
Man, we got a name for them kind.
Yeah. And so, back in our day, it was, you don't go behind nobody, especially your friends. You don't go behind friends. But that was his MO. And I found out 5, 6, 7 different people that he went after behind me.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, what?
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think he did that because you may have shared more information with him that you probably should have shared?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's back to the maturity level, understanding how much you could share and how little to share. Yeah. I had my walls down thinking this is my friend trying to support me, trying to make sure everything was good. But he was plotting the whole time. Seeds, and then when we done, now he like, he wasn't the best for you, but I said, because some of them have come back and told me stories, and I'm like, really? It was like that? But it's experiences like that throughout life that make you not trust people. Right. And it's during our conversation, I said what changed for me and what helped me pivot was going to church. Yeah. And being around other men that were mature, that were saved. They had a code. They had a way of doing things. And I felt like I respect that. Yeah. And that's who I want in my life. People like that. Yep. I want people who are going to be real, to be honest, can share, tell you things they've gone through and get feedback, and then keep going. Because then that helped me do it. Exactly. But without that experience, I think I still would have been headed down the road thinking you can't trust everybody. Right. You can't trust anybody. I can trust my brothers, that's blood. Right. We always gonna look out for each other. But friends is a different level. You got to navigate that. Yeah. It's just like finding the right girl that you want to have in your life and you want to marry. You got to let your walls down slow. Yeah. You're not going day 3 sign over your life insurance to her. Yeah. Nah, you're not giving her keys to your house and saying go in and grab this, that, or the other. Day 3, you can't do that. You build that relationship, you build that trust, and I mean, I slow walk a lot of my relationships just for that reason.
Yep.
Because people will show you the best sides of themselves,
and that's what Herman said.
Yeah, until you see something a little off, a little odd.
Yeah,
and you see their little shield come down a little bit, their little fake come down, and it's like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Where'd that come from?
Jealousy starts seeping out. They can't help it no more.
Right, absolutely.
Envy start coming. It's funny because Herman just said the same thing. He said people will show you who they are, and when they show you, you got to believe them.
Got to believe
and that's 100% the truth. And when they show you, and this is, you know what? It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter how long you've known them. When they show you, you better believe that's who they are.
Yep.
Here's the crazy part, Marquis, to what you just said, and that's 100% true, and to you as well, Herman. You know, when you discovered that, if you just look back, there were breadcrumbs.
Oh, yeah.
To show you that Negro wasn't really your friend to begin with.
Hindsight.
And this is, and I'm gonna say this about our wives and about our girlfriends, the ones we had that really cared about us. They told us.
Yeah.
And we didn't believe them. We didn't want to believe them.
Never liked them. Never.
I already know this. I already know this.
He was like, get away from her.
Yeah, I already know this. I
I
already know this. I'm saying that because we have great wives.
Great wives.
When you have a great wife, her discernment level is through the roof.
Yeah.
She can spot she can spot something coming a mile away.
Male or female.
Male or female, especially female.
Right.
But male as well. And she'll tell you, and she'll do it in her own way. She won't put the dude, she'll be like, hey, Marquis, I saw something. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
And it'll be just that. Right?
Yeah.
Unless it get bad.
Right.
And she'll tell you that mofo, boom, right? Like that.
Yeah.
But they will tell you time and time again, but they're breadcrumbs that they leave for you along the way where they showed you, you saw it, but you ignored it.
Absolutely.
And then you wonder, and this is why you said, man, we got to be careful with this and you got to slow walk it because you got to stop and think, man. You're like, okay, I saw this. I can't ignore this.
Right. Yeah.
I cannot ignore this because that was too grievous. And guess what? Sometimes it ain't done to you, it's done to somebody else.
Right.
You like, wait a minute, hold on, Slim. If you supposed to be my friend, I know if you said that's your friend,
right?
You talking about them behind their back, dude, what you do when I'm not around.
Right.
So we gotta be careful, man. But as men, we gotta uphold the code.
Yeah.
It used to be a time when we didn't do stuff like this. Like you didn't, you know, it seems like it's more prevalent now. But as a young man, I don't remember a whole bunch of dudes doing that kind of, we called it B and begin, you know, last is itches type of stuff. Right?
Yeah.
I just don't remember all that. Maybe the just type of dudes that I was around and that I hung out with, we just did not do stuff like that. But you got to pay attention to this, man, because there are some cats out here who me and you know good. They'll tell you they're your friend.
Right.
They'll act like they're your friend.
Yep.
They will even tell other people that they're your friend, but they really not your friend.
Right.
These Negroes are twisting the knives in your back. They're doing all kinds of stuff behind your back. You thinking they rooting for you, man? They trying to kill you.
Yeah.
And you got to pay attention to this. And if your wife or your girlfriend or even another friend say, Mike, man, or Marquis, look, man, I was at so and so, and I overheard Slim talking about you. Like, nah, he wouldn't do that.
Yeah, he would.
Man,
yes,
what?
Would.
Not only would he, that Negro was going off.
Yeah.
And again, I say this, Marquis, because I've never had a jealous bone in my body, so I don't understand why another man would be jealous or insecure about something I'm doing because you have no control over that. If you upset him, man, you got to take that up with God because that's the one who put me in the position that can put you in the position to get to wherever it is you're trying to go. It's amazing that a lot of dudes don't understand this, right? And this is why I love you, man. In all that I've ever done, and I do this with you as well, I've only tried to encourage you and help you get to where you are. I've never pulled your foot to try to bring you down when you was up. Yep. And this is the reason why, Marquis, because one, you introduced me to Christ. And I would do this with anybody who was my friend. And anybody who knows me, they know this about me. No matter how much success or whatever it is that I'm doing, I'm still the same person. So I want to see you win.
Yep.
when you win, I realize I've won. The reason I know that is because I'm connected to you.
Yep.
So when you go somewhere, then I'm with you. If I go somewhere, and let me just say this to all my friends, I'm saying this to you because you're sitting next to me right now, but I mean what I'm saying. I think you know this. It ain't nowhere I go in this world or whatever it is I do or whatever it is I'm doing or a part of that if I'm successful, you're not successful.
Right.
If I can help you get to a place, you've gotten to that place.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that's just what it is. We friends, we connected in that way. That's what we do. That's what friends do, man. We don't tear each other down. We not a crab in a barrel mentality over here. Right. That's not what we do. We all win over here. And we ain't winning. We try to figure out how do we get together to win.
Right.
So we not gatekeeping. We not holding no secret. I'm not going to not share something with you that's going to help your life and help your wife. I know that if you win at a certain point, if you're winning, the Bible talks about how the oil dripped off of Aaron's beard and everybody that was holding his arms up, everybody else that was around him.
Yep.
If the oil was dripping off of him and everybody that was standing underneath of him that was connected to him, they all was blessed.
Absolutely.
That's how I look at life. That's just me. Yeah. But not everybody who says they're your friend look at life that way. They see you winning and they're like, why he winning?
Right.
Why it ain't my turn?
Let me move him out the way and get up under the oil myself.
Exactly. Yeah. Push you out the way. Knock
Absolutely.
you down.
Yeah.
You're like, man, we winning. This ain't no competition. Like we are winning. That's the one. This just the one thing that scares me and bothers me about us as black people as well. That we still have that crab in a barrel mentality. But a lot of men, black men especially, they have, and that's why we can't. You know, some men, not we, but some men can never actually establish good friendships.
Right. Because
they got them B itches traits in them.
Yeah. And I feel sorry for those men.
Yep.
Really.
Yep.
Because to never have a man in your life that you could trust.
Ooh. God.
To never have
say that
resources.
Again, God dang.
To never have somebody that you could let your guard down.
Oh, man.
Nobody when you're in trouble, whether it be with your spouse, your girlfriend, job situation, whatever. Never have anybody to call to say, I'm hurting. I need some encouragement. And get it.
Oof.
I can't imagine
that.
That's a broken person.
Yeah.
And so, you know, part of what we learn as you do more and more of this Christian walk is that not only do we just pray for ourselves and our friends, but we also pray for our enemies.
Yeah.
We pray for people that we don't necessarily like, because at the end of the day, they're living in anguish.
Yeah,
they're living in bad times now, whereas we live in the good life.
Yes, sir.
And that's why they can respond the way they respond, because they're like, why am I standing over here dealing with all of this trauma and drama? Can't have a good relationship, don't have a man in my life, don't have a real woman in my life. They just taking my money or whatever the case might be. But you look like you doing good. You got money, you got a wife, you got a whatever. You got this, you got that. Why can't I have that? Right. And if they can't find a legal way to do it, they're going to find an illegal way to do it. And it don't even have to be stealing or robbing anybody. All they got to do is take shortcuts, telling lies about you.
Yeah.
Sharing information that nobody else should know. They're going to try and tear you down in any way that they know, so that you could be right back in the same situation that they're in, and they could say, now we are friends because we're on the same level.
Exactly.
Rather than taking a mentality that we've heard over time, if you're the smartest person in your group, it's time to change group.
Yeah, it's too small.
Yeah, you got to change the group, because you got to get around other people that are doing more than what you're doing, so you can continue to grow. But if you never intend to grow, and your purpose of getting into the next level is to tear the group apart so that there is no group, then you get isolated.
Yeah. And that's funny you say that, because I was actually just looking at that word right here, because I took a lot of notes before we got together, and man, God is really moving. And you're right. A lot of these dudes live in isolation. And I wondered too, Marquis, if they put themselves in isolation, like they self-isolate, like they don't realize that people don't want to be around you because you got this be itches type attitude. Like you operate in that space. You operate in a space where you're negative, where you're envious, where you're jealous. And here's the thing, and insecure. And here's the one thing that I've learned about these kinds of people. They don't always realize how much that thing is dripping off of them.
Right.
And if people sense that you're insecure, that you're jealous, that you're envious, I don't think they always realize that. And that's why some men, and I'm not saying that's the case for any man on here, I don't believe that to be, but it's a lot of these dudes over here, they're operating that way, and they're never going to have a friend.
Right.
Because that's purely how they operate, instead of, being honest and being open and being vulnerable and not being jealous, envious, or insecure.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Here's the thing, right? The one thing that also keeps me well grounded in these things is that I have people around me like you that will tell me, and I understand this, as a man, you got to take the good with the bad, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes what you're saying is right, or sometimes what you're saying is wrong. Sometimes what you do is right, sometimes I have good friends that I trust their opinions, because I don't trust everybody's opinion. Right. They'll tell me, man, Mike, that ain't right. And I'm like, well, what do you think?
Right.
Where do you think I went wrong? Like, where is the fault at? What do you see? What did I do that was wrong? Mm-hmm. And I trust you enough to tell me in love. And it might not be, the language could be colorful, and we so cool. I don't care about what the colorful language is. Yeah, I just care about the message.
Right.
So what is it? Right? I trust you with my feelings. I trust you. I trust your opinion, because what you're going to tell me is going to benefit my life. Mm-hmm. Right? It's going to take me to a place where I should be, not where I'm at. Right. And we don't have enough of these type of dudes in our lives that we can do that with, because everybody isn't meant to do that. Some dudes say something to you like, man, I don't want to hear that I was about to say something. Right. I don't want to hear that from yeah. I don't want to hear that from you. Right. Right. I don't believe a single thing, that you're saying. But when you have good friends, man, mm-hmm. you are never isolated. Yeah. I had a friend of mine, real quick story as well. He got into a lot of trouble, man. And I asked him, I was like, he was at Marquis, this dude was at the top of the world, and he got God let me have a front row seat to his life to watch him ascend and watch him fall. The climb up was fast. The fall down was faster. Mm-hmm. It was fast and it was hard. I can imagine. I mean, Mark, when I tell you his life was destroyed, everything, man, was just fell apart. And I asked him at the end of the day, I said, man, what happened? He said, Mike, man, I wound up being on an island where I felt like I couldn't trust anybody. I couldn't share this with somebody. And I said, man, you could have told me. He's like, man, I just didn't feel like that. I didn't trust nobody. He said this, Marquis. He said, I didn't have a single person I could talk to. Yeah. I've heard this twice in my life, right? And the two times that I've heard it was astonishing to me. I heard a preacher say, well-known preacher, by the way, we were in this environment, and he said he doesn't have any friends. This dude been preaching for 40 years. Yeah. No friends, Marquis. And I said to myself, how could you be this well-known, this kind of preacher? And what it showed me was, just because you got a lot of people around you don't mean they friends. Yeah. It's quality, man. I always tell people this as well. Steph used to say this to me all the time. I say, I want you to stop saying. She said, you got a lot of friends. I say, no, I don't. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people.
Yeah, I know a lot of people.
Knowing a lot of people don't make them a friend. It just means you know a lot of people.
Correct.
She's like, everywhere we go, I said, yeah, because I'm involved in this, I'm involved with that. Way. Right? Yeah. Or I know him through Marquis. He introduced me to him, or somebody else introduced me to him. Yeah, but they not my friends.
Correct.
I said, you know my friends. I said, this is how you can tell if somebody's a friend of yours. This is for me personally. Mm-hmm. If you've never been in my house like that, we friendly, right? But we ain't friends, because that's. And I think this is for all men. That's where you cut the line.
To my house, right?
Yeah. If I let you come over my house, because now I've let you in my sanctuary, right? I've let you in my private space,
around my family.
I let you around my family, and that is for a man to do that. Yeah. That's a very vulnerable thing.
Absolutely.
That's a very vulnerable thing, because you're not letting anybody come up in your house. Nope. That's like opening the front door and letting the devil come in. Right. And all of whatever comes with the devil come in your house.
What you're gonna get.
No, you don't know what you're gonna get. So you don't open your house up, to people like that. And I'm not saying I'm not friendly with a bunch of people, because I am. Yeah. But to that level of friendship, that takes a great amount of time. That takes a great amount of vulnerability. Yeah. That's a lot of us going through. That's a lot of me trusting you, knowing, bro, I let you in my house. Right. So you done seen everything. I done probably told you a whole bunch of stuff, and that was probably the last thing right there, the last test. Like, all right, I'm gonna let you come to my house. Because once you do that, and I'm like this now, man. Like Steph told me not long ago, she was like, I don't want everybody. I was like, no, I get that. You know, you like, man, you can read them at the front door. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, or it's other things like if you don't bring them around your spouse and you don't hang out with them like that, because to me, your house and your spouse are almost the same.
Right.
I brought you around my spouse, so that means I trust you. Like I introduced you to her. She sees me hanging out with you.
Yeah.
And just know our wives are keen enough. They have enough discernment again to be like,
they know
I'm not hanging out with you or him,
right.
and to you don't need to be around me.
Right. They'll pull the plug in a heartbeat.
They'll pull the plug in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I want to talk about this thing too, man. I want to talk about brotherhood because brotherhood is an essential part of this friendship thing.
Yeah.
And it takes. This scripture, the one that I mentioned earlier, I think it was 133. Let me just go back to this real quick because I think about this a lot when I think about brotherhood. Proverbs 18:24. A man that had friends must show himself friendly, and there is a friend that is like or closer than a brother. And man, that says a lot in and of itself.
It does.
Because I'm calling you my brother now. I mean, we all know what a brother is, and to me, this is how I operate. If I call you a friend, you my brother.
Right.
You
Family.
my brother. Thank you.
You now family.
Thank you.
If I call you my brother.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So let's just talk about that for a minute because the brotherhood piece of it, and I think it crystallizes the conversation a little bit when you say brotherhood. And you talk about that brotherhood, man. Like, I can think back on many days, man. We've been on the phone. We talked about stuff, man. I mean, like, we talked about stuff.
Yeah.
Like, talking about some stuff. And I think about that, and it almost makes me cry, almost makes me tear up now because I think about our brotherhood and how long we've been friends and brothers over damn near 40 years. I think about my dad as well, and I think about him in this sense because he has friends, man, that he's been friends with for over 60 years. They got a group. They call it the Men of Anacostia. And they meet like once a month on a Thursday. And these guys, man, you see all these older guys, man, they get together and they go to a restaurant. They there for like 10 hours. And I always say, man, why y'all there for 10 hours? You know, what are y'all doing? What y'all got to talk about? And it dawned on me one time to not ask that question. And what it was is when you have a friend, you love being in their company.
Absolutely.
And when the
talk
time
all day,
man,
go through, reminisce, talk about everything.
Yes.
And it's a powerful experience
Yes.
because you leave feeling good.
Yep.
Time flies when
Yeah.
you're having conversations.
Yeah.
And you know, transparently, I mean, now where I am, 55, I probably was the center of the party back in the day. I was the one hosting it in the middle, you know, DJ, all of that. Now, I am at a place where I don't even want all those friends. Because life has taught me that with more people comes more drama. So value the people that you found that are beneficial to your life. Leave a crack in the door for new people to enter your life. But be very protective of the people you let in your life because as we are getting older, losing a job when I was 20 is different at 55.
Yes, it is.
So I can't have you coming up to my job acting a fool. I can't have you pulling up and the music is blaring and you getting out and it's a group of y'all and that is a whole nother level. We can't do that right now. You know, that's not where we are in life. And so I don't want to invite drama into my life with somebody who I don't really know well. So that's why the slow walking, the caution. So I'm comfortable with being in a small circle. I could count on my hand how many people I really call my brother. I could say people are my friends, and I think we need new language terminology new words to describe what a friend is, because there's so many different levels of friends. You have people you are the bowling league with. Those my friends. But you only see them when you bowl. Are they really your friends? There's people that you're in fraternities with. Those my friends. Are they really your friends? Those my brothers. Are they really your brothers? It's really the relationships that define it, but we don't really have enough terms to get to the different levels of these friendships. And I think brother is a good one, but when you have a brother, it's kind of tough. But you know, my two brothers, I know they gonna die for me. If I call them, it's about to be a war. But I feel the same thing with you.
Absolutely.
If I call you,
best believe.
You see what I'm saying?
Best believe.
But I can't say that about everybody.
Right.
And
that's
so,
why I said, I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's why I said to me, I don't throw around the word friend lightly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't slap that on everybody. Yeah, you my fraternity brother, you're my fraternity brother.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're somebody I bowl with, we're in the league together.
Right.
Now, that's a whole other thing to be my brother and my fraternity brother. Or my friend. Like, I have some very close friends who are fraternity brothers. Not a lot.
Yeah.
But they are close friends. And I know if I needed something, I could pick up the phone and call them. And like you said, if it's wartime, they like when and where.
Right.
Let's do this thing.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm just like, I can't slap that title on everybody. I'm like, nah, man, I can't call you that. I know you a good dude.
Yeah.
But I can't call. I ain't know you that long to call you a friend.
Yeah, and I
wasn't raised like that.
Would I co-sign for this person? Would I co-sign a car? Would I co-sign a house? Would I co-sign? They get ready to let him out of prison. We need you to sign right here to say that you're going to make sure this person don't leave the country. Would I do that? I would do that for everybody.
Right. Put your name on the line. Yeah.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a good one. That's a good
I have
one.
job openings at my job, and I know somebody that works in the same field. Do I trust them enough that I'm gonna bring them in to represent me? Because everybody's gonna know I hired them.
And Donnie said associates. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
they're associates.
I can't really put that stamp on everybody. Yeah, I gotta know you. I gotta know your character. I gotta know your background. We have to have been around each other for a long time for me to stamp you like that.
Right. Or if I said, Marquis, I got somebody, because I'm not going to just send somebody to be like, Marquis.
I trust your word.
Exactly. If I say, hey, Marquis, I need you to do nothing, you know, I know you're doing this, I need a favor. Yeah. Exactly. But you can't do that for everybody. You're like, man, bruh, he
the guy you sent me, he did this, did that, took my money. I don't have time for that.
Exactly.
I don't have time for that.
Exactly. We're going to wrap it up. And one of the things, man, I want to talk about real quick is, I know, man, this is why, again, to me, friendship is so important. Because when you have friends, especially as men, well, let me say this. I'll start with the not having friends, then having friends. I don't understand, well, let me say I don't understand, but it is very difficult if you are a man and you don't have any friends to get through life. We're all going to go through something.
Yeah.
You're going to have or experience depression. Yep. You're going to experience loneliness. You're going to experience frustration. You're going to experience being upset and mad. All these range of emotions. Yeah. But it's extremely difficult to make it when you have no one. Nobody. You could pick up the phone, and you said this earlier, pick up the phone and call and say, man, I'm really going through. Yeah. And because I've had a couple friends, man, they didn't call me with this, but they told me how they called someone. They said, man, I feel like blowing my brains out.
Right. I've got that call before. Can
you imagine if you're at that point in your life and you don't have a single person, male friend, you could pick up the phone. Yeah. And you in this fraternity with them, you in this lodge with them, you on that bowling league, you and your wife and them do that, and you can't pick up the phone and call them and tell them how you just got laid off. Right. Man, you know, let me just say this real quick. I've been laid off probably 5 times. And none of them really bothered me. But because I always had my wife to talk to. But I had other friends. And they met my friends that said, and I told you before, you're like, man, Mike, that's one damn job. You'll get another one. Absolutely. You know what I mean? It's something to hear your friend encourage you like that, man. You all right? You going to be okay? I remember, I'm going to share this story about you and I. I wasn't working, and you had the AC company. Yeah. And you call me, you say, hey, Mike, man, come on, come work with me. I can't pay you a whole lot, but I'm going to put some money in your pocket. That's a friend. That's a damn friend for you.
Yeah, that's what you do.
That's a brother for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have nothing. And you was like, come on, man. Look, come on. We gonna go do this. I ain't know what the hell I was doing.
Right.
You was like, just do this.
Right.
Just do this. And then no, hold on a second, because I gotta say this. You was like, I'm not gonna wait to pay you. I'm gonna give you the money today.
Yeah.
Because I know you need it. That's a friend.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer to me. When
that's
you're
a friend.
friends and you are when you're brothers, that's what you do.
Exactly. And when you're called upon, that's what you do.
Yeah.
I've done it for other brothers, and the reason I've done it is because it was done for me and to me. Where I'm like, I've had some brothers' wives call me because they were so embarrassed.
Mm.
They were so embarrassed. They had no food in their house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm mad, and I'm like, why would this dude not call me and tell me he had no food in his house? Why your wife gotta call me crying, upset?
Ego.
Man, we gotta get past that.
We do.
But that's when I was like, man, I think I may have shown, because I told her, I said, don't tell him that I gave you the money.
Right.
You ain't even gotta tell him. Just make sure that and if it ain't enough to fill it up, call me back.
Right.
So we can put some food in. There's no way I'm gonna go to bed on a full stomach. I know you hungry. You ain't got no food in your refrigerator.
Right.
What kind of man am I? What kind of friend am I?
Yep.
Right? Like, that doesn't make sense. And I'm saying all this to say, as men, we gotta get beyond sometimes ourselves. And you gotta pick up the phone and call somebody when you're in trouble. If you don't have a friend, I don't know where you go or how you go about doing that then at that point. If you don't have somebody, like, you gotta have somebody you can call and be able to, at least, if they can't work the situation out, at least listen to you. Because sometimes that's all we want.
Yeah. And sometimes you just have to say, this is a situation I'm in. I don't know what I need. I don't know. I don't even think I could ask this kind of stuff, but I'm just saying this is the situation that I'm in. That opens the door for somebody to know that you're in the situation.
Yep.
And you never know what resources they have that you haven't had a conversation about before. I've had plenty of people that didn't have jobs, and I was able to get them jobs. Administrative stuff, facilities type stuff, working in different arenas. People are always looking for admin type. You don't have to have a whole bunch of skill set.
Yeah.
I know plenty of recruiters. You just never know what people know. You just have to communicate.
Yeah.
And this is the part where I feel people suffer the most is because they can't get out their own way. They don't know how to express, I need this, I want this. Can you show me how to get there or get what I need? Even when there's nothing wrong.
Right. That's ego, right?
Yeah. Like I'm learning how to trade now. Robin's deep in it. And
y'all want to sit with y'all.
Yeah. And so that's the whole point.
Yeah.
When you learn something new, you start getting good at it. You want to share it with people you love because you want them to be successful too. When I remember when we were looking at houses and all of that and, trying to figure all that out, talking about budgeting and savings. And we have these conversations because this is how we all move forward together in life. And until you get in circles like that, so you grow, you end up staying where you are. It hurts you in the long run for you not to just express the things you're trying to do. I remember over and over again saying for years, I can never make over $50,000 a year. Everybody else making $100K. They got these government jobs and all that. I can't make over $50,000 a year. Fast forward, I'm way past that now. I'm just saying. But there were times I had to say that to people. And then they start giving me pathways to get there, which got me to the place where I can make way over 50K.
Exactly.
So it's just sometimes just communicating what you need and letting the people around you give you what they can to support you. So again, with this, I know we're trying to close, but no, I'm always here. I got your back. I'm supporting you in every way that I can. And look, it don't always have to be money, y'all. Don't think we talk about money.
That's the least of it. The very least of it.
You do what you can, but if you don't have financial resources, just that listening ear.
Yes, sir.
Being there sometimes to give sound advice.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not you, but who you know that your friend needs.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be sitting here today, a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, if it wasn't for this dude. Because we've been through life together, and it just happened to be somebody that he knew that he connected me with that got me to where I am. So you just never know. You open your mouth. Yeah,
closed mouth never get fed.
Never get fed.
So look, man, let's close on this. I want to put this to you, man. What if you had to encapsulate it and give it a definition? What does friendship mean to you? And we're talking in reference to a man now.
Yeah. It's definitely love, trust, commitment, honesty, and just being there.
Damn it, you stole them all from me. Because that's literally what I would say. Yeah. That's especially that last part about being there for somebody just and being present. Because that, to me, that's the part, man, for most of us as men that we miss in terms of friendship.
Showing up.
Being there when I really need you.
Yep.
Like, not when I don't need you. When I call you and I say, man, I really need you. Like, man, I'm busy.
Right.
Man, listen, I'm hurting, man. Like, I really need you.
Show up.
A lot of times, man, we miss the boat right there. But I also want to say this too about being friends and friendship and the rest of this kind of stuff, brothers, is that you gotta show yourself friendly as well. Like, you gotta. Again, as you were saying, like, if you having a problem, you struggling, accountability. Thank you, Neil Smith. Accountability.
Yeah. You
got to take accountability, and you got to go to somebody. You know what I mean? Like, you got to open up your mouth and say, man, I'm hurt, I'm busted, I'm broke. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Right? And
you look good all the time.
Because you look good all the time.
We don't know you hurting.
And you got to trust that whoever you're contacting as a friend, they're going to be there for you. Right? And as a friend on the other side, you got to be there to receive, and not just receive, but to actually do something. Yeah. It may not, like you said, we're not always talking about money. Sometimes it's just an ear. Yeah. Like, I'm hurt, and I just need you to listen to me, man. Like, I don't have another person. This is how we got to look at it and view it. It may not be, you might be the difference between that person living and dying.
Yeah.
Like, literally. Yeah. Like, it might be that I need to talk to you because I'm thinking about killing myself.
Right.
Right? Or sometimes as a friend, you can hear it in a person's voice. When you get on the phone, Marquis, how you doing? Oh, man, I'm all right. Whoa.
Right.
What'd you just say?
Right.
Oh, I'm okay. Nah, I know you well enough. Right. That's not how you respond if things are well.
Right.
So something is not right. So let me just do this. All right, man. Okay, cool. What's going on? You still ain't telling me. All right, so now I just got to go direct. Man, what the hell is going on?
Right.
What the hell is going on? I know something is going on, and you're not telling me, and I'm not getting off this phone, and yes, I'm going to press you. Yes, I'm going to get all up in your business. I'm going to keep on asking you until you tell me what it is. I might not have the answer, but guess what, damn it? We're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
And maybe I know someone else that got the answer, and we're going to get this straight.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to let this phone call or this conversation end without us figuring out what the deal is. And I'm going to say this last thing. When you have a good friend and good brother, because I'm dreading this right now, you hate to see them leaving.
Yeah.
Because the conversation has been great. Yeah. The company is always good, and you're always yearning to have that.
The next one.
Mm-hmm. And you miss it. You miss it, man. You miss it when you don't have it.
Yeah.
And you know when you don't have it, because sometimes, man, you'll be sitting around, you be like, man, damn it, I remember the last time we talked, man. I can't wait till we get together again. Yeah. Like, it's just always, even if it's 10 minutes, it just felt like it was too long.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And so, you know, that's the kind of brotherhood that we're talking about right there, where when you have a brother like that, man, you always want to be in their company because you know you got a good one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you know when a dude ain't a good friend, you like, man, I can't wait till this is over with.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Matter of fact, I gotta go.
Right.
Like, when you with a good friend, it'll always be, all right, man, I gotta go. And that might be 10 times.
Right.
Over 3 hours.
Right.
All right, man, we gotta go.
Right.
All right. Okay, cool. And some of you guys know what I'm talking about, because when you have a good friend like that, you just don't want to leave. You just always want to be in there. And when you're not with them, you miss them.
Yeah.
You really miss them, because you know what kind of friend, you know what you got in that person, and you know that's special. It's not everywhere. It ain't like a dime a dozen.
Right.
You know, especially again at our age,
Yep.
we realize and we value friendship because
Take a long time to get to where we are.
take a long time to get to where we are. It's taking a long time to get to where we are.
We on the back nine. We don't
And
have time for that.
we on the back nine. We on the back nine. So you got to appreciate the people, the friends that you have in your life. Listen, man, I thought I was going to be done with this whole friendship piece, man, but I feel a part 3 coming on, because I still feel like it's some more to deal with. Yeah. I'm getting back into space, man, of podcasting. This is like my entryway back into it. So I hope that you guys will support me, man. I hope that this topic was germane to your life. I hope we said something that, you know, made you think, made you yearn, you know. And I want to encourage you to do this. If you haven't talked to a good friend of yours, man, pick up the phone, send them a text message, something to let them know that you're thinking about them. Because I just did this the other day, and I had a couple of people respond back to me, man, you don't know how much that meant to me. Yeah. And we don't sometimes, Marquis. Sometimes we don't realize how much it means to call somebody or text somebody in this day and age. Yeah. You used to just call, but at least to text them and say, hey, man, I was thinking about you, and I love you, and there's nothing wrong. I just want to let you know that I'm thinking about you. Yeah. Right? And that I love you, man. And you just never know what that does to somebody's day, man. It could shift everything. Like I said, somebody might be thinking about killing themselves or doing themselves some harm, or they're just having a rough day, man. All of us have these things. We all have rough days. But when you see that text message come in from somebody you ain't talked to, especially a good friend, you ain't talked to him in a minute, man, that thing come up, you like, man, I'm good now. I can do it. I didn't think I could do it. I'm great. I can make it. Matter of fact, thank you, God, because you heard my prayer, and in that, they spoke something. Yep. They didn't even know I was going through, but you knew I was going through.
Timing is everything.
Oh, man, timing is everything. So, yeah, man, I'm starting this podcast up. We are going to deal mostly with men. The name of the podcast is called Mandatory Conversations, and you probably saw it in the title, Mandatory Conversations with Mike Johnson, and it literally is mandatory. And it's conversations that we don't oftentimes as men have that we need to have. And this was one I believe on tonight that we need to have. We need to have more of these. We need to be able to figure out, man, how to, if we don't have any friends, man, figure out how to develop relationships. And if you haven't figured it out, man, maybe you need to go to somebody and sit on somebody's couch and figure out who it is. And you got to sometimes, you said this earlier, get beyond yourself. Yep. You got to know you can't trust everybody. But there's probably at least 1 or 2 people you can absolutely trust. You just got to figure out who they are. And for us, it's time tested. Like, thank God, man, I'm so blessed to have you in my life. It's time tested for us. I don't know what it requires for you or whomever you might know, but you know, try to figure that out. And lastly, do me a favor, man, share this with other people, because again, I do believe this is going to be a blessing, man. I know it was a reason why God had me call this man on tonight. And I'm gonna tell you, closing it right here, unless you want to, I'll give you the last word. I called him at, what time I called you at? 4 something? Yeah. I called him, I said, hey man, I haven't talked to you in a while. You was on my mind and on my heart. I want you to come sit down with me, because we haven't talked or sat down in a while. Been to dinner in a minute. Our wives normally, probably been about a year almost. I feel like since we went to dinner, all of us. And I said, hey man, I want you on. This dude worked an hour at least in traffic. It's got to be at least an hour and 30 minutes from here. Yeah. And you know what he said? What time? That's a friend for you. Yeah, absolutely. That's a friend for you. Yeah. Close us out, man.
And I wouldn't miss it. When you have friends like we have for each other, you drop what you got to drop. You do what you got to do, because it's beneficial to me to be in his presence, and vice versa.
That's vice versa. Yes.
We get benefit from each other, just being around each other, having these type conversations. We grow each other. And I mean, Mike is doing a lot.
You're doing a lot. We both doing a lot.
I'm chasing,
we on the back nine.
I'm chasing you.
No, man.
I mean, just the entrepreneurial
I'm just trying to make a way for us.
And I mean, I'm so proud of you.
I'm proud of you, man.
And so
we doing it.
This is what happens when you have good friends. You can be so proud of them.
Yes.
I'm going to support anything you do,
and
it's going to be successful. We're going to make it work, and it's going to do what it do.
It works both ways. I mean, that's what friendship is, and we should be man enough and be able to say, man, I'm proud of you, man.
Yeah.
I'm super proud of you. I love what you're doing. I can't wait to support you, and then actually do it.
Yeah.
That's what we do, man. It's not enough for you to just say it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do it. That's the only reason this dude sitting here is because it ain't because I just said something a couple times. I mean, I had to show up in his life to be like, okay, and it was some critical times. Same thing for me. I'm like, man, I need you. Listen, man, I need you. I need to bend your ear. I need to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, man, we're gonna have a part 3 to this. I don't know what it's gonna be called, but we're gonna do a part 3 because I'm very interested now that I know this. I'm aware of it, in helping men figure out how do they get out of those isolated spaces and try to figure out how do I develop meaningful friendships and relationships. Because now I start to believe if you don't have any male friends and you probably don't have any, people just in general you could go to. Right. And so that's a very lonely and vulnerable place to be. Mm-hmm. And that's not as a man where any of us want to be, especially if you're in our age group. I'm not saying if you're young, that's not the case. But Marquis, man, at 50 something plus years old, like you said, we on the back nine. Bro, I can't imagine not having you as a friend, not having a friend I could call up and say, man, what you doing? Even just like, man, what you doing? Let's just go get something to eat. Because you know we love to do that.
Absolutely.
Go eat.
Absolutely.
Or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
You don't have somebody you can just call like that and your boy be like, come on, man, let's go do it. Or let's jet out of town real quick. We're going to just go hang out and do something. Let's get the wives together. Let's go hang out. Yeah. Let's go, let's go do whatever.
Yeah. Young or old, know that you're going to get old.
Duh.
And there are things that are happening that we need to talk about. How our bodies change.
Oh, man. That's going to be, you know what? We're going to talk about that.
There's so many men topics we need to come around and just navigate together and figure out next steps and how we pull each other together. Yeah. And it's just like one friend, if you pull in another friend. Yeah. That's the way your circle grows, is just being friends with people that you already trust and have friends with. But I think great topics, great avenues. You can go up and down many roads. We got a lot of stuff that's been to talk about, but you just made me think about what I think where I want to go next. And it is really in this space of just opening up, trying to figure out how to open up, because you're right, man. In our 50s, when we was in our 40s, you ain't think about making sure your liver function well, your kidneys function well, that your manhood function well, that your teeth are working like they supposed to, your brain is working like it's supposed to. When you 50 though, them things on your brain, bro. Absolutely. Your insurance is paid up, my insurance is paid up. Right. Listen, it's doctor time. Right. You see something change in your body that you can't do all the things that you used to be able to do as well as you used to. And it doesn't make you less of a man. What it means is you're progressing and you're maturing as a man and you're getting older. And that's called life. Yeah. You're not a punk. You're not a sissy. You're not inadequate. You're not all these negatives. It's life. Yeah. And guess what? It's okay. And you're not going through it by yourself. But if you don't tell anybody you are going through it by yourself, and also this last thing, because this is what I said. How many doors?
I know, right? Exactly, right? I know, right? If you was a pastor, you'd be like, okay, I thought you was going to end it. Right. But I think about my dad, man, and one of the things he was telling me, man, that I think is so amazing. Most of his friends are in their late 70s, early 70s, or even in their 80s, right? Mm-hmm. And some of them got to get together because one friend can't make it to the doctor. Right. So we cannot let them not be able to go to the doctor. So who's going? Right. All right, cool. Marquis, you go on Monday. I got him on Tuesday. Fred got him on Wednesday. Yeah. Sam got him on Thursday. Joe got him on Friday. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. That's what they do. They literally do this, man, for other brothers. Like, oh man, such and such needs this. All right, cool. Let's go help so and so get. And I'm like, man, that's amazing. They've been friends that long that they got people they can do it, because guess what? You know, sometimes these guys don't have a wife.
Right.
They don't have a significant other.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, man. If you don't have any friends, you don't have a significant other, how do you expect to get along? Like, how are you going to make it through life?
Yeah.
And I see a lot of brothers like this now, Marquis, that I didn't know before, but they don't have a significant other. So maybe they died. Maybe they just never got married. Maybe they got divorced. Their kids don't live near here. And the only people that's taking care of them, they're friends.
Yeah.
So imagine if you don't have that. What do you have?
Yeah. And I'll leave you with this thought.
We're going to be done for real after this.
Yeah. We're going to be done for real. It's getting late. It's past my bedtime. But you said funeral. We're not trying to be morbid. But who going to show up at your funeral?
Damn.
I've been to some where you get there and it's 3 people.
Yeah.
It's not the mama, not the daddy, because they already gone.
Correct.
There's like 1, 2 friends from work show up.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else is there because nobody really knew this person. They weren't really connected to anybody. Mm-hmm. So at least start making some connections.
Yeah.
So you can have some experiences that people can show up for you, not just in your funeral, but in your life every day when things happen that may be challenging. Mm-hmm. People should be able to show up for you. Yeah. So don't isolate yourself. Make sure you have people in your life that can show up when you need them. Yeah.
And the last thing is, to that point, literally we're going to close it now, is that I've seen people have to go through not the funeral part, but they're on their way to death.
Yeah.
And no one is there.
Nobody shows up at the hospital and all that. Yeah.
No, there are no phone calls.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Like, even if you're not sick to the point of death, but you're in the hospital and it feels like that.
Yeah.
To not receive a phone call, to not receive a visit, you know what I mean? Not to receive a call.
At the hospital.
You know, you got people in nursing homes right now, man. Their kids don't visit them. They don't have no friends. Their parents, like you said, are gone. Mm-hmm. What do you have then if you don't have your friends coming to come see about you, come check on you, just come hang out with you, so on and so on? Man, listen, we out of here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. Do me a favor. This broadcast is going to be up for a minute. I'm going to throw it over to YouTube as well. Share this with other people, man. And just know this. If you need to hit me up in the comments, hit me up in the DM, please feel free to do that, man. Like, I'm on a mission to help men be better, man. I'm on a mission to help us live a better life. And I don't want you to have to suffer in silence. Mm-hmm. None of us should have to suffer in silence. Usually it's because you have not said anything to anybody. Is the reason why you are suffering in silence. And you just know you don't have to. Yeah. I may not know you that well, but I might be able to put you in contact with some folks that can help you in your situation. Now, I can't do everything for everybody, but I will try and I will do my best to help you. But not just that, please do your best to help somebody else. Yeah. Look out for us next week, man. We're going to come back. I'm not sure which day. I got to try to figure out which day I want to do this. And I want to get into a weekly routine at a certain day, a certain hour, so you know that I'm coming on. And I'm going to establish that this week for next week going forward and doing it. Sometimes it'll just be me. And sometimes I'll have a special guest, my good friend, Mr. Marquis Walker here, and others like him. And then for you guys who just want to come on the podcast, man, and chop it up with me, I would love to have you come on and chop it up. You don't necessarily have to be a friend. We just might know each other, and we're friendly. And that's okay, too, because we don't know where that might lead to, because Marquis said, and I'm trying to do this, is to leave the door cracked a little bit for a possibility of a new friendship. Yeah. Hey, man, this is Mike Johnson. This is Marquis Walker. We out of here. Thank y'all so much. Brothers, have a good evening, man. Bless y'all.
Be blessed.